You'll be able to choose between 2 and probably 7 canvases, okay? So I have so many resources and I like to do some myself, but watch for that. Get on that list. Okay, let's go ahead and begin. Do I want to do watercolor? I kind of do, but I may save that. Let me see if I can go ahead and go large. Can I do screen and screen? No, it won't let me do that for whatever reason. But we can do that. Okay, we can do that view right there. That view right there is cool. Now, I also have a printout on a lot of different ways that you can paint the tulip, as well as if you happen to have a tulip around, you can, and this will be part of what's going on the website for the download. All right, let's go ahead and begin. I am going to, do I have my old wicked looking brush or am I going to use one of the newer ones? Okay, here's my old little raunchy brush that I don't know, I like to use it. Especially starting out and the canvas is still, you know, not, I'm going to say it's still more in a raw state, not really covered with paint. It's even kind of rough feeling right now. Ah, I am going to do the background first. Okay. I am torn sometimes, and people like to know every step by step type of thing. Sometimes it's subjective. I'm going to throw that out there. Sometimes it just depends on what you're comfortable with. That's usually how I lead, but I will tell you for probably 80% of the time, it's best to do your background first. Let me make sure I am settled in a good spot that's good for the camera so that you can see what's going on clearly. I just like to have the color out there as opposed to having nothing. You know, we just finished with Black History Month, and I know I've told some of my students, and I know it sounds crazy that, Black History Month comes and goes, but we celebrate it. It's American history, so we celebrate it all the time over here. All right. And some look at my site and see lots of black faces, lots of black images. Well, I'm just going to say, I'm just glad to be out here to be able to represent in some fashion because years and years and years, we saw lots of, I'm trying to see if I'm going to paint the sides, lots of white faces in the media and television. So take it however you want. I am pro human being. How about that? Now, see, I don't want to get any paint on my. Let's see if I can twist this a little bit. Let me twist this and put that over there, just for a little spot of brightness while we are painting. Let me move this on up out of the way. I think I am just going to go on for it. Okay, we're going to paint the sides. This is the bright blue. I think both Plaid, the Apple Barrel brand from Plaid, um, and Michaels both call this particular shade of blue bright blue. And it is a nice, bright, general blue. You add white to it, of course, it can be a nice sky blue. And this is, I'm going to call it just kind of like a right down the middle blue, not warm, uh, not cool. Well, I mean, you know what I mean. Well, maybe you don't know what I mean, but it is a nice general blue. All right, so we are just going ahead, taking full advantage of the paint that's out. When you go to a paint party, use the paint. Don't waste it, but use it. Paint the sides and make sure there's a little curve right here. Don't just paint just right up to the edge. Curve it back I'm going to say maybe like 1/8 of an inch, 3/16 of an inch. And then that way you don't have to worry about a frame. That's the good thing about that part. So I slapped it on, and now I'm going back to smooth out any extra paint on the sides. And then we'll worry about the front here in just a moment. Let me blend that, because I did go ahead and dot this, didn't I? Well, I have a lot of water in my brush, so I'm just going to go ahead, quickly use it. Thinning the acrylic down too much will probably cause some cracking. I'm looking for my medium here. I'm going to add a little bit. It's kind of like a glue that kind of, why do I keep saying kind of? That keeps it flexible. I'm putting a little bit right here, just a little dot, so that you can have a little bit more adhesive quality, adhesion. You know, it doesn't affect. Oh, I like that. And it thins it out. The medium thins it out, makes it transparent like you would with the water. But like I said, it makes the paint stick a little bit better. I hope the words are coming out. I really haven't done a lot of talking today. I've just kind of been in my mind, so to speak, in a planning zone. It's a good space. Not one of those, oh, woe is me in your mind type of situations. It's just time to get some things planned and get some things done. All right, so once I slap it on, I usually like to spread it out. Ooh, this is a lot over here. It's a lot of water, but over here I'm not worried, because you know what? I'm going to have to find my mark and keep it. Over here, there is the medium that's in there. Oh, I like it when it's kind of like watercolor back here. Okay, let me just go ahead and blend some of this over here. Okay, some of this is still wet. We'll see about trying to do some light, airy feeling clouds. Let me make sure I wet the edge right here so it's easy to blend. Let me dip a little bit more blue, and I'm going to pull it on over to the edge. Let me get in the middle here. So the good thing about doing the background first is that you haven't done any details on the subject, okay? Because that people like to know why. I like to go right and paint the subject as well, but sometimes when you get going on this background, you will accidentally paint over what you spent so long creating on the subject. So usually at least the first coat, get that background up out of here. And then you can, I feel that you can react better to what's going on with the subject. Because now you can go with a nice bright pink, nice bright red, nice bright yellow. Depends on what makes you think of spring. Now, I am going to go back to this blue, go back over here. And I know I'm going to have to add some white to my paint pots. And at first, I wasn't really into this a couple years ago. But, you know, the pandemic brought about, you know, a lot of pivoting, a lot of changing. And so even out of some of the craziness, as you know, some good things did come out of the pandemic. A lot of crazy, but there are some good things too. So now I'm just going back over here. This side is really wet and blendable still. So I'm just going to go ahead and paint this all the way down. And if it changes on the actual front side of the canvas, then we might make an adjustment over here, but I don't think so. Now, I like to paint the sides because then you don't have to worry about a frame. Then it's like a little, I'm going to call it a little bit of eye candy. Now, you know I call my art kits paint pops. You know, like pop in the candy store or your favorite cake bake shop. You know, you get the little donut holes, you know, little mini snacks. So these are not large canvases. This is 8 by 10. And, you know, of course, we could probably do the large size in the same amount of time. But of course, we would need bigger brushes to accommodate. All right, so we just about have all of this whole canvas painted. I just dipped just a little bit in the water to help move some of this paint along. All right. Now that's probably the longest time when you're painting to set up your canvas for your subject. So now we've got like a little bit of a blue sky type of thing going on. And I'm really not really going to add a whole bunch of more paint over here. I'm going to kind of leave this kind of light. Kind of. I keep using that sort of. Kind of. What's wrong with me? I've got other words, but they're just not coming out. And you know what? I forgot to share on my group. So I'm going to stop and do that once I get to a good stopping point here. Oop. Well, that's some drips running over there. That'll be a different kind of painting for sure. It's interesting to see. It's nice to have your plan. And I had a general plan, something springy, something light. But then sometimes when your plans change a little bit, have had to do a little bit of changing this week. How do you pivot and move successfully? Sometimes I gripe and moan a little bit. I'm not even going to lie. I gripe and moan a little bit while my mind is getting prepared to accept whatever change is coming. All right, so there's like a little wet drip running there. So this is still, I'm just getting rid of any white. So I am overlapping onto the petals just a little bit because I'd much rather do it now. And I'm going to rip up some of this paper towel, dab it in a little bit of water, just damp. And then we're just going to dab some of this out while it's still wet to kind of simulate clouds. Now, I would also have to and this is also, once again, why you might want to, now some of this is a little bit more dry, so I'm going to just kind of swoop up. You might want to do the background first for any detailing or whatever. And can you mess up the background too? You definitely can. But usually it's a little easier to fix the background. All right, so here we go. We got a little bit of cloud action running here. I'm gonna just kind of leave it. Now I can go back in later with some white if I feel the need. We're just going to give some light wispy clouds here. All right. And I'm going to call that part of the day. Let me get this paint off my fingers and then I'll lift it up. This is my new technique of showing you a little bit close up, my close-up cam. I wish I could zoom in and zoom out. As I learn, I will be able to do that. But right now, this is what we have going on. Let me move this particular lamp back just a smidge. Right, nothing fancy. You can go back in with some white and light blue as you need to. So that's what's going on here. Now, you'll see that it is very, very easy. I'm trying to think if I want to go straight pink, if I want to go with a little bit of coral. Well, I guess I can't do that, huh? There we go. I don't know, and I'm going to just hold this full camera. Let's make sure that we're getting this. Tilt, tilt, move over. There we go. There we go. I'm trying to get it. So this is where we are now. And that little streak running up the middle is when that water kind of dripped over there. That's okay. Now see, it's difficult too. There we go. So we're going to continue. I am going to aim this down while I invite my group. You know, we'll get it. Let me aim this down. Add to stream. And let me pop this down. There we go. Let me, and there's my computer. I hear it taking, I hear the engine taking off right now. Now, you know, I've been talking this whole while. Talking up a storm this whole while. And no one heard a word. Now, over here, I'm just going to do this one just traditional. I'm going to go ahead and grab some yellow. Go right on over these lines. Oh, good. I've got plenty of yellow in here. And then, of course, we can add the shading. Just a flat yellow. And don't worry about that little bit of blue overlapping. If it's really bothering you, you can go over that little area with a little dot of white, just a little smidge of white. Let that dry to get the canvas back to the original part, and then go on over it. Like right here, I might have to put a little dot of white up here. Okay. To cover that part over. All right. So we've got our base coat on right now, which is really, really cool. Really kind of sunny, really kind of fun. And over here, this variegated business is going on. I'm just going to go ahead and pull down a little bit of yellow over here, just because I can. And I may have to go in here and use this hair dryer and dry this stuff out. We could pull a little bit of that coral up over here too, a little bit. Don't have to have everything, but just a little bit. Okay. That way they're both in the same family. All right, I'm going to hit that hair dryer. And so I'm definitely going to remove myself on purpose. Be right back. All right. So that was a little noisy. I'm going to go in with my little teeny tiny brush and just go around the edge to kind of clean this up a little bit. It's not a big issue for me, but you might want to stay in the line. So I'm just going to clean this up just a little bit. I'm going to also reach for my little Q-tip. And you want to do this while it is still sort of damp. Sort of. What's wrong with my language today? I can't. Sort of, kind of. Because even after this dries, even because this is still fresh paint. There we go. Come on, words. It's still, what do you call it? Pliable, moldable, movable. Uh-oh, I need a fresh coop. Y'all, who's on Q-tip patrol? Okay. Now, I like to dip my Q-tip in the water just a little bit, just to make it a little bit damp so it's ready to absorb right away as opposed to pushing the paint away. That's what I found. You know how we will grab a paper towel and we will make it damp a little bit. Let me see, which way am I going? Am I going in the right direction? I think so. Okay, so I kind of like what's going on here. I'm just going to take the tip of my brush and just going in here, you guys. I just want to, almost like I'm drawing with the paint. Okay. Just something to do. Dip in here and come over here. Just using up what we have right here. Okay, so it's coming along. So we need to go in and add a little bit of shading. I'm going to hit this part right here, this little bit of blue. That's, ooh, need to make sure your brush is all the way clean. Don't have any, because that canvas is still going to be a little bit wet because we just didn't do paint right on the dry canvas. We did it on top of wet canvas. So I can go in right now and lift up some of this extra blue paint a little easier. It doesn't necessarily want to come up, but it's coming up a little bit. But I've got this harsh blue line over here. I don't want that harsh dark line. So I'm going to go in here with a little bit of white. And I'm just going to come on over here just a little bit to get rid of it. Okay. So you do what you need to do. That's what we do over here. All right. So I don't really want that harsh dark line. So I'm getting rid of it. All right. Let's go ahead and grab a little bit of this green. We don't have any, so let's make some right fast. But take whatever little white I have in there. I'll grab some of this yellow. Snag some of that. Put that right down over here. Just remember where your little stashes are. And I'm going to get just a little smidge of blue on the tip. I'm going to put that extra blue off to the side because it's strong. And I'm just going to mix this in right here. Okay, if it's not quite dark enough, we'll come back. I think this is fine. I'm just taking whatever yellow, green, whatever I have in my brush. I'm just pushing it on up out of here. You want to just get rid of the white canvas. And we didn't mix up a lot, so we may have to go back in and mix up just a little bit more. Okay, so here we are. I'm going to go get just a little dab of black to mix in up underneath where that stem is. This is probably going to be the darkest area of the canvas. Okay. So there we go to make it simulate shadow. Let me go on this side. Right up underneath the bulb on that stem, it's going to be dark. Now, which one is in front? Which one is behind? You can decide that. I think I'm going to have the larger one in front, put the baby one behind. Kind of like it's protecting it. Okay, so who started off with guidelines? I can make them a little bit lighter because I know some just need just a soft touch. Others, they need the darker lines. So I will always have some that are a little darker, some that are a little bit lighter. Okay, here we go. All right, that's still a little bit wet. Okay, so there we are. We get just a smidge of white back here. That's okay. Now we're going to leave that alone. All right, so let's see what's going up here back in the top. Let me make sure there's no color in there. So let's see about mixing up a bit. Hope this is not too dark. This might be a little bit too dark. I think we're going too dark here. So we're trying to pull the volume of the plant together. Going a little bit darker on the inside. This little deep dark little cavernous part here. I'm going to grab a little bit of yellow and a little bit of red. Just right here. I'm going to grab a little bit of white too. It's going dark up underneath this little turn right here, but not too dark. Okay. All right. Oh, this is fun. Super fun to paint. I got to get a little bit of water. This red, and I should have a little bit of medium right here. I just want to cover this line up with some of that red. So let's get up here so you can see. Then that makes it kind of come alive a little bit more. Going right up underneath here. All right, and I'm just going to add that color right there. Okay. I'm going to go back and add some more back up over on this side too. Let's see, do I still have a little bit of black and green? I do. Grab a little bit more of this red. So the color is changing a little bit. That's okay. Now, how is that? How is that? So we are not quite an, well, no, not quite an hour in. We're in a little bit. So let's just kind of clean that edge up a little bit. Let's clean this one up a little bit here. Okay, of course, we know this one's going backwards a little bit. All right. So that's making a more complete statement. The yellow I'm not really worried about too much. We visited it a little bit over here, but we could show the yellow a little bit of love. I'm going to put my mixing plate over here. Let me move this up just a wee bit, and we're going to call this a day. So, going over here, let me get just a smidge of water. Okay, just a smidge. Need just a smidge more. I'm pushing this paint out so that I can have a finer tip. And I'm just blending. Still need, I got a little bit too much water that time, but we're just going to take what we have here and we're just going to blend it. Like I said, I should have a little bit of matte medium blending in with this. But I think we've made a complete statement here. You work until you think it's done. I'm going to add a little bit of white down over here. And maybe add a little bit of blue. Just to make sure we are kind of cleaning up whatever little dark patches or light patches that may take away from the subject. So I think we kind of cleaned that up pretty good. Okay. We're okay. Now I could probably go in a little bit more and get rid of the, maybe I'll do that. Get a little bit more yellow. Get a little bit more black. Add a little bit more red for my little concoction to go along these little lines right here. Okay. Let's see, do I have my little concoction ready? I think I do. Oh, that might be a little bit too dark. That's okay. And if you wanted to, of course, you can go over this with just a black marker if you needed to. If this is not making the statement that you needed to make, just go right on back. All right, I'm okay with it. I could maybe smooth it out or something a little bit more. I'm going to go right here. Grab a little bit of this yellow. Mix it on down up in here and get that going. Just going to pull this one up just a little bit. Leave that alone, y'all. So, hey, let me see if I can hold it still over here. Let me get the light over here. I think we're good. Mr. Paint Cam, trying to make sure I'm on the video the right way. All right, y'all. So I'm going to say this would probably be a good 90-minute session. Just taking care. Let me remove the paint can. Hello? I've got a little dot of water that might run down there. This will probably be a good 90-minute session. Oh, hello. We've got it leaned in. Let's lean it in this way. There we go. Now we're getting it there. Can't do it, can we? We're going to get it right. We're going to get it right for the YouTube thumbnail, y'all. We're going to get it. Because I'm trying to make sure it's not too close to the light. Girl, what we doing? Need to lean it in a little bit. There we go. There we are. Let me hold it with cute hands. Ah, that's better. Tilt it, tilt it, tilt it. All right. We are good. That. Trying to see when am I going to put that up. I don't want to say, because this weekend I do want to just kind of relax a little bit. The sun is out. I think I want a little ice cream. So what if I had some ice cream yesterday? Okay, I want a little bit more today. And I don't eat a lot at once, so peace to you. Thank you for joining me in my studio. We will get this ready for you to download for your ideas. Now that is gonna, there we go. That's a little bit better. Girl, what are we doing? We don't even know what we're doing, y'all. We're just trying. But anyway, so we'll have some of this stuff available for you. And if you have any questions, email me, info, I-N-F-O, at that little app. It's not ampersand, the little round A symbol, The Painted Pose. Email me at, send your email to info at thepaintedpose.com. Ask me some questions. We'll probably have some of these ready to work on for some of our local parties here. Just something fun. Check on your creative friends. Make sure that they're tending to their creative health as you attend to yours. I am so excited to be able to come in here and do this with you. Have an amazing rest of your day. Peace to you. Do something that makes you smile, that makes your heart come alive, and give that smile to someone else. If you can, if you can, if you can, if you can. I'm looking for how I'm getting out of this room. Okay. Signing off. Let me put this on up here. Till the next time.